What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You know who it is. You know what it is. It is the Black Fitness Matters podcast with your man, Coach Chris. Each week I come to you with an amazing guest, someone in the fitness industry that's been doing it big. And this week I'm not disappointing you. I met this young man years ago when he was a neophyte in this fitness game. And now he is known not just citywide, but I know people across the country that know this man. Ladies and gentlemen, Nemiah Rutledge, y'all make some noise.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for inviting me.
So, listen, man, thank you very much for, we did a previous interview pre-pandemic, and then we're back at it now. We talked earlier this week and we got right on it, man. So I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you.
So let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is, like I said, he's won numerous business awards in the city. He sits on seats and chairs and councils in the city that some people, work years to be on, you know what I mean? So, but let's talk early Nemiah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? How did you get into this industry?
So it was through actually a bad breakup.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a ex-girlfriend. I used to work at Coach Distribution Center, and I used to love the job. So ex-girlfriend, she cheated, and she was promiscuous. But the guys she would go around with, they were athletic.
Oh, okay.
And I say, well, if that's all it takes.
My man say, hey, let me get some muscles so I can get some, but go ahead.
And after that, I found a love for it. And then something tragic happened in my life.
Okay.
So I was drugged. It went in the paper. I was drugged by my ex-girlfriend's current boyfriend.
Oh, man.
So that was my best friend at the time. And now they're currently together, but never the case. I was smoking with them, and there was some battery acid in the joint.
Wow.
Yeah, and after that, after I smoked it, I was in the hospital for a week. They had to pump, they had to extract everything out of my system through a tube, and then I had to basically build my immune system back. But what kept me obviously is God, and from man's standpoint, the doctors, they said by you exercising at this vigorous level, that's what kept your heart intact.
Man, listen, I've had clients that had to go through surgeries and different things like that, and they said that is exactly what their doctors told them. That Coach Chris, I mean, my doc was like, your recovery is so much faster because you were already working out, because you were training. The way you were taking care of your body was at that level at which your recovery is better. So man, I didn't even know that part, man. You didn't drop me with a whole new one. So after recovering from that, you know what I mean, then what happened? So
after that, that's where I decided, sitting in the hospital bed, I was like, you know what, if exercise kept me alive, I need to share this with the world. And it's like, so what are my first steps? So that's where something I had to ask myself. I was like, so what's the next step? I was like, do I go to school? Do I just look at videos? Because at the time we didn't have the resources of as much resources that we have now. Instagram just came out. This was back in 2011. Instagram came out 2012. So I had to go to YouTube. There wasn't much on YouTube. So at that point, I bought a Sean T video.
Okay.
And that
Sean T. Shout out.
And that was the start out of understanding the anatomy. Then eventually I went to college, to the Heritage Institute, and got my occupational science degree.
Okay, so occupational science degree.
Yeah,
all right, and
that's the degree for personal trainers.
Okay, that's what's happening. So you are an educated trainer, so you know what you're talking about. So okay, so you go to school. We meet at a gym over on the north side. At that point in time, I was just getting my feet wet into managing personal training. You know what I'm saying? I was a personal training coordinator at this gym, and you were one of the trainers. We just opened this gym, and big shout out. There's a couple of people I remember from that gym. They will be on the show as well. But From there, you know, you were a new trainer, but I saw that you had it in you there, right? So from that point, moving on forward from that box gym, what did you do?
So from there, I started working at corporate offices. So I worked at my first contract, and when I'm saying contract, I actually was able to sign a legitimate business contract proposal. Things that we as black people really don't do. I didn't know what I was doing. I just wrote it on the Word doc and say, "Hey, pay me this," and that was the contract. So I started working at Harold and Harold law firm. And
hold on, stop. So you wrote the contract and gave the contract to a law firm.
Yes.
And told the law firm, "Hey, sign this."
Yeah, and I said, "This will get you healthy." That's how it worked.
So how did you have the confidence? What gave you the confidence to put that number down? I definitely want to know that number. That initial number. What was that initial number?
Oh God, it was so low. So I was training them for $45 a session, and I would make about, I believe, $800 a week.
Okay.
So, and that was my first start out there, and how I got it to get that contract. This is taking me back. It was between, I sat there as I was writing it. It was between the level of fear of what I really want to do and procrastinate, or I was like, you know what? Let's just jump and see where we land, because the only thing they can say is no.
Correct.
So that was the fear. Like, once I overcome all of that fear that was in my head, like, oh, they might not do this or they might not do that. Then I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, nobody's talking back. It's all in your head.
Yeah.
Let's just see what you can do physically. Let's be active on this real dream. See if a black man can actually get a contract with the company. A personal trainer. I've never seen it. Let's be the first. And that was the drive.
So you parlayed that into a longer contract. I'm sure the money got higher.
Yes,
as the
yes, it did.
And so then, you know, you I saw the post on Facebook about being at Harold and Harold and everything. And the next thing you know it, boom, we cut on the television and Nemiah is on Channel 4. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So that timeline. So 2014 when we met. Wow, that was almost 10 years ago. So 2014, Workout Anytime, worked at Harold and Harold. Then after that, worked at got a job with Florida Blue, walked into their office and said, "You all need a personal trainer." And we were at Workout Anytime at the time. So we were working through Workout Anytime. So worked on that project for about almost a year. And then that was the way to get on Channel 4.
Gotcha.
My connection with, this was the beauty in it, and this is how God works. It was a bigger message. So working at Florida Blue for free classes for the community, that brought light to Channel 4. I didn't know how to get in, but the people at Harold and Harold, they knew exactly who to contact at Channel 4 and say, we have this young guy who works with us and he does community involvement. He just started his first corporate account. Can you help him? And that's how I got on Channel 4.
That's what's up. So again, watching the Black Fitness Matters podcast here with Coach Chris and trainer extraordinaire Nemiah Rutledge. The reason that we bring on trainers, and I'm walking through this right now, is so that other trainers, other beginner trainers, and those that may be in the game and want to switch up can learn that, one, is not impossible. You know what I'm saying? That you can find corporate offices and go towards corporate wellness. You can work in big box gyms. You could be mobile, all of that kind of stuff, and still be a successful trainer. My question also then would be, what was your initial startup in just the business as a trainer outside of going to school? Like, how much was your education, if you don't mind me asking?
So it cost about $24,000 to $24,000. So, but here's the start off, and I don't share this often. I started out training people for $5. I trained strippers.
Okay.
For $5, and I would catch the bus. Yes. So I would train strippers all around Jacksonville for $5 just to hand them out. and I would carry all my equipment on.
That's not safe. Hand them off. No, I'm just playing. But go ahead.
So I would train them for $5, and then they would invite their friends. And next thing you know, I started creating this great leg workout. And then I would see them perform. I was like, wait a minute, I think I got something.
But wait. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
$5 for how long? How long was the session?
1 hour.
$5 for an hour session for these strippers?
Hey, I had a dream. I was like, guess what? I had a dream. I was like, I'm not that good. So that's the thing that we go into.
Okay.
Like, oh, I got this skill. I got this greatness. Pay me this much money. You don't even know how good you are.
My man say I was humble.
Yes. Wow. And I still to this day do the same thing.
You train strippers for $5 now?
No, not strippers.
I was gonna say, man, inflation. Come on, man. Make it 15. I was playing.
maybe they're bosses now.
Okay.
But yes. So,
wow.
But yeah, that's how it started. It was extremely humble, and I was eating tuna and spinach.
Okay.
That was my physique. That was everything. I'll never forget those days because the foundation of those people, I still communicate to them, and they still reach out and say, hey, no matter how big you get, don't forget. I was like, I'll never forget because you were my start. Because that $5 was how I'm now who I am today.
Wow.
For you giving me that chance.
Wow.
I went through putting you through pain, not understanding the anatomy, all of those mistakes, not knowing how to say the proper body part, or not having the right words. All of that failure was in the beginning of that $5. Wow. So now, and I tell people now, how can I pay you $50, or how can you charge me $50 to $100 and you don't even know what the hell you selling?
Exactly. So it's interesting that you say that, man, because again, being able to just starting, and you saying, okay, I was humble enough to know I wasn't the master trainer. You know what I'm saying? To know I need to work with someone who's going to be seen, right? Who cares about their body, right? And so they need someone, and so you never know. They may make 100 a night, they may make 50 tomorrow night, but they need the upkeep on their body, right? And so you parlayed that into just going. So okay, so
the strippers are the celebrities for the hood.
Yeah, I got you.
So that's really what my mindset was, to get to the next outside of that circle, because that's our environment. I mean, you have your dope boys, you have your strippers, you have some negativity around, but then it's like, how can I be different but not corny?
I got you. So that is, man, last time we talked, I didn't even get that last time. Wow, I appreciate that. This the come up, man. So you went from but I'm sorry, going back to the startup. How much money did you invest, like, before getting to Harold and Harold? Did you have to go and buy equipment? Did Harold and Harold have equipment there at the office? Or did they give you an office there? Were you working outside? How did that go?
So it started out dicey. So the first start out was my investment. I never told anyone. I had to borrow money from a family member. I borrowed about $310 because I had my own gym too in the midst of this. So borrowed $310. Went to, at the time, this was before the Circuit City closed on Bay Meadows, I believe. So they had a sale on fitness equipment.
Circuit City?
Yes, before it was right in the front. It was weird. You know how you sell candy in the front? Okay. Miscellaneous stuff? They had fitness equipment.
Wow.
And I was like, wait a minute. How much is it? And they say it's 75% off. I used that same $310 and bought equipment that, like, a medicine ball was $40. I got it 75% off. Okay. So purchased all their equipment, and that's when I started at Harold and Harold on every last dime.
Wow. So $310, and then of course you probably got financial aid or whatever for school. How did you get the 24 stacks for school?
So 24 stacks. I saved $16,000 when I worked at Coach and gave it all. So when I gave it all. So I was like, guess what? You go in life, when you want something bad enough, you have to weigh out the risk in a dream. I mean, because you can only fulfill a dream if you do it.
Wow.
But it's only a fantasy when you talk.
Man, we getting nuggets. We getting nuggets, y'all. This is the Black Fitness Matters podcast, man. We got Coach Nemiah Rutledge. I'm the way he talking. He is not just a trainer. He is a coach, fitness coach, business life coach, all that kind of good stuff, man. So you gave it all, man. You went 100. You bet it all on you, right?
Yeah.
So then we go from Harold and Harold, and now we got you started with a guest appearance on Channel 4, but then we started seeing you more and more, and then we started seeing you at this time in the morning, then in the middle of the afternoon, and then, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, I mean, you know me,
I
was just on Channel 4 once for Thanksgiving, and that was it. You know what I'm saying?
Which it was great. It was great.
But how did that grow for you?
So this is something I want everyone to understand. When you build yourself, the only way that caterpillar is going to evolve, obviously turn into a butterfly, what are the hardest changes and decisions that you have to make for yourself? So how I continued my journey on Channel 4 was doing the things that no one's doing. What are you doing while you're sleeping? So I said, how do you read a script? So I researched everything I had questions about. That's why we have Google. Like, how do they do it? They do it great. The anchors. So they read scripts. So I practiced my own scripts, and I started writing scripts. And that's the behind the scenes of before you go on television. How well prepared are you? So I started preparing myself for the unprepared. So I said, let's just write a scenario. Let's say if I want a news segment, what would that look like? Oh, we have holidays. What are all the holidays of fitness? I researched that myself. Then I sent it in to Channel 4. What are all of the fraternal days for women? I mean, all the fraternal days. What are all the men health days? What are all the health and fitness days on the calendar?
Yeah, like national,
yes,
whatever day, yeah.
Or even the bad, or even not the bad, or even the food days, like National Donut Day, Pie Day, Pizza Day. Let's do a segment. Or what are like the Super Bowl, the big events. Let me pinpoint those, try to build a segment towards it with fitness, because we talk about fitness in the bar. If I can talk about my body in the bar drinking, I can talk about it anywhere. That is the main source of our conversation. And I was like, let me bring this to Channel 4 to see if it will work.
Wow. And so again, I'm loving this because I'm pulling out all of the things for the listener to get. You, one, prepared, and two, you went in with confidence and say, "Hey, let's do this."
I didn't go in with confidence.
Well, no, but you had to have some sort of confidence
to
do that.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. You had to have. You did the research and you didn't sit on it. That's the point that I'm trying to get to people, the listeners. You didn't sit on it. You went ahead and said, "Hey, let's do this." And was there any pushback from them, or did they not?
No, because they said you're the expert. Oh, come on! Can you imagine that? I'm walking in as a novice. My second segment, because it was the second one was New Year's. The first one was 2016 on the day after Christmas.
Okay.
Then went on the day after New Year's. Prep for that. Then we went on again for the spring, and after that, that's when it changed. It's like, hey, you're delivering these messages, and you're coming up with the workout, and we don't have to work.
Wow. So you delivered value.
Yes.
So you got to be able to have value when you're going into the corporate spaces, or if you're going into the TV radio space. How can I help you, instead of saying, "Hey, here's who I am, here's my rate sheet"?
Well, here, you know what? I'll share this with everyone. It's 3 things that people want to know: who you are, what you have, and why should they care. Who I am? I'm Nemiah Rutledge. I'm a fitness instructor. What do I have? I can offer you a new healthy lifestyle. Why should you care? Do you want to live longer? There you go.
That's it.
And that's the same for everyone.
You heard it here. You heard it here.
So if they write down those 3 questions, that'll help you for the rest of your life.
So Wow, man. And so now let's talk business from an aspect of what has Harold and Harold, what has Channel 4 done for you? What doors have that opened for you as a trainer?
So I wouldn't say that there were many doors open. I would say there were one thing about, I'll say this about opportunity. And because I thought that going on television, yay, it's going to be great. People are going to come up. No, that didn't happen.
You mean they weren't beating your door down?
No, I was like, man, what's happening? I thought that I thought that was it.
Oh man,
like I'm famous. That's it. No, I still had to take out the trash. Nobody know me. I'm like, okay, what else I gotta do? So, but what it did give me was confidence in speaking
I
out.
got you.
So, what happened after that? It was an there were opportunities. That's how I joined the chamber.
Okay.
And with Harold and Harold, they backed me the whole way, because they became my capital. They say, we'll support you because you're making us look good. Because one, you are a different ethnicity. You have an audience that we can't touch.
So pause. Let's hold on right there, because I do want to let me ask this, because I know there's going to be some listeners thinking this question right here. So, did you feel like the token black one?
Never.
Awesome.
I felt so, and that's a good question, because I'm around it all the time. I'm around politicians. I'm around CEOs. I'm around every racial type of person. But there's one thing I want all of us as black people to understand. You can be, it's either you're the thermostat or you're the thermometer.
Okay.
The thermostat is the one who sets and controls the temperature.
Absolutely.
A thermometer, that's someone who works off of their emotions. When you react to things, you're the thermometer. When you respond to things, that's when you're the leader in the thermostat.
Yeah.
So
you said, what did you say? We set the trends.
We set the trends.
Yeah.
So when you got so when I would be approached by that level of stuff, racism, or even being called token is joking, I would say, okay. I was like, I didn't find any token. I was like, oh, your skin. I was like, where's your tail? I would easily say, where's your tail? Because if you're saying token, I know where I am. I'm not even valued as a person.
Oh, wow.
If that comes out. So guess what? I'm calling you something else too.
Wow.
But now I'm going to let you think, hey, you look just like them too.
Wow. So, but that's interesting, man, because I in hearing that, knowing that people would think that, had you got, people have said to you, you're the token?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, and I look at you like this, man, and knowing you pre Harold Channel 4 and Jack's Chamber and everything like that, and seeing the process, seeing the growth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm proud. Like when I see it, man, like I'm like, I know you know, there's highs and lows. There's family stuff. There's everyday stuff and everything like that. But yeah, it's life.
Yeah.
But to see that you are doing that, I know that you're not walking in the door and closing it behind you. I don't see that. You know what I'm saying?
I always leave it open.
So, next question.
Did I answer your last one?
You did.
Okay.
You did. So with Harold and Harold into the Jack's Chamber, and then now you were in. Did you do 2 cohorts or 1? I think you did you went through a class with the Jack's Chamber.
So I guess let me break it down.
And I'm sorry. Let me again, ladies and gentlemen. The reason I'm being very specific about the questions that I'm asking him, as a trainer, as a fitness professional, it is more than just working in the big box gyms.
Correct.
It's more than just trying to break your neck to go hustle and work out in the parks and, you know, being a mobile trainer. All that is good, but where are the verticals? How do you get out of that? How do you have more income streams coming from this? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I appreciate that, but go ahead. I'm sorry for the interruption.
So you want me to break? So I'll break all of that down. So here we go. So fitness trainer, we know box gym. That's just what we're accustomed to. I look at box gym as the chitlins of fitness.
My man say chitlins. Okay.
That's the chitlins, because guess what? You're gonna eat a little bit, but it's still gonna be junk. So you're not gonna thrive in a box gym.
Well, hold on. I gotta have some pushback though.
Okay, there's some there, not to everyone, but
yeah,
because not to everyone.
Because working in a big box gym, there are some pluses and some minuses. So the pluses I look at in the big box gym is you have a pool of people that's already coming to you, right?
Yes.
The minus is you're not going to get paid as much as you would want to. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to work, you got to churn through them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes in some big box gyms, the personal training department is just that. You know what I mean? You're not. I don't want to say you're not respected, but we know they make their money on
their sales.
Yeah, recurring payments and stuff. So yeah, because I know a lot of people that are in the big box gym, but then we want to graduate in a sense from that. But then you have some people that's making a killing in the big box gym.
That's true, and that's like far and few in between. I mean, look at those as the Jordans of the gym.
Yeah.
So it's going to be rare.
I got you.
So that's all I'm saying.
I got you.
Yeah. So or the pro football player, they're the star.
Yeah.
You can't have everybody can't be a star.
Not in the big box gym.
So here's the thing. Think of fitness as just only as that tree. I mean, we have our, just like spiritually, we have our tree, our foundation. Now, with fitness, how are you going to combine that with other things? So with me, I say, okay, we're going to take fitness.
Hold on, you can say body paradox.
Okay.
Body paradox.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Thanks. You saw that. So with body paradox, we went from personal training to luxury training.
Okay.
White glove service.
And what is that, please?
So luxury training, obviously, you go into the person's home, you purchase their equipment, have it there for them. Basically, you made a home gym that you don't have to pay for.
I got you.
So provide all of this equipment for them, and then you outsource. Hey, if you need XYZ, I have it, then I upcharge you.
Okay.
So that's another way to make another level of revenue.
I got you.
So you have fitness training, and now you have these added on. Hey, even if it's a friend, I need 10 on my car. If I'm training you in your house and you need 10 on your car, now I became a resource. That's one thing that trainers have more than anyone. It's like we are the resource for all resources.
I got you.
If we know that, and that's the superpower, if you can think of every person you know to contact with, the word is called cross-pollination. So when we cross-pollinate, I cross-pollinated with home designers. Now we build luxury gyms.
In the homes?
In the homes.
Wow.
Got with a contractor and said, let's see if we can put this together. Hey, I can build you anything. How much are you charging them? Okay, so here's what I did. Hey, let me see what your contract looks like. I'm going to mimic it, and we're going to go in here and get this money together. And then guess what? Now I made $40,000.
You made, like MADE, made?
Yeah.
On that home?
Wow. All because, all because I am a fitness trainer.
Man.
And saying, you need to put your body through this. Here's what you need. Here's the equipment that you need. Now, you just created a new lane.
Okay.
That's one thing. Corporate wellness and preventative health. I worked with physicians. If you got friends that are doctors, you say, hey, I'm fitness and you're this. Now let's go sell it and say this is a procurement plan. That's easy. And you just go to their building. They can give you $500 just to sign on because you have a professional with you.
Man,
I'm giving you the keys.
Man, listen, if you are not taking notes, we will have show notes. We gonna definitely have Nemiah Rutledge from Body Paradox back on again to drop some more nuggets, man. But golly, Nemiah, so those are different ways. Yeah, those are different ways of having verticals in the fitness industry.
You have one right here. You have fitness and podcast combined. That doesn't exist. That's why I'm here.
And I, man, let me tell you something. I'm not sure if I probably spoke about it when we first started the show, man. But I was researching fitness podcasts because I was listening to fitness business podcasts. You know what I mean? And they would have people like yourself that would come on and they would talk to them about, okay, I started this business. I got private loans from my clients who believed in me, and they were doing this, and we went from this building to now we got 5,000 square feet, 10,000 square feet of gyms and stuff. But nobody looked like us. Nobody looked like us, and I watched a couple of other podcasts, and they were bringing on the people that look like us. They were bringing on like the influencers, right? And
not the effectors.
So what ended up happening was, I said, there's a hole in the market, because I know that there's black trainers that are brick and mortar, that have been brick and mortar for years, that make more than 6 figures a year, that affect the community, but we got to get that out to people. You see what I'm saying? And so, ergo, Black Fitness Matters, the original podcast was supposed to be just a business podcast. But again, now we get to the point of, how do we affect more than just people outside of the training space? So here's my segue.
That's beautiful.
When you start speaking to people about fitness, let's stay on this one first. High level of your clients, since you've been training, what has been the majority of people that you train, from a racial standpoint and from a gender standpoint?
White women.
Okay.
So my population, occupational, so I work with mostly 65 and up.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's occupational is working with seniors.
Okay.
That's where your money is. I mean, when you're old and you're about to leave this earth, you want to be as healthy as possible.
Okay.
They will spend all the money on you.
Okay.
Even if you're horrible, they just care about you talking to them.
Yeah.
So that's the majority of my clientele. My oldest client is 90 years old. Yeah, she's 90 years old. My youngest client is 22 years old, and she's an amputee.
Okay.
So I can work with people with no limbs to the oldest.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
no limbs to old limbs.
Yeah, that's it. I got you. So yeah, it's typically mostly. I mean, here in the South, typically most white women. For corporate, it's a mixed gender, because now we have all ethnicities. We have some people from Nepal. I just learned that. We have people from India, from Egypt. So we have a well diverse Brazil. So, and that's within the corporate setting. But even understanding their culture, and I had to change my fitness ways, because we don't like to change too much. Like, hey, it's either do this or goodbye. And I was like, let me expand, because if I'm getting bumped with another person in another culture, let me take a step back, an aerial view, get out of my emotions, not react, and see who they are.
I got you.
Like, let me absorb their culture so I can be even better.
Okay, so I'm glad you went that route, because I'm listening to you. We heard Nepal, Brazil, all the different places, older white women. What about the African American?
So African American group. So I do work with our community as well. That's where we provide the free classes and everything. But I don't have any personal client. I have one personal client. It's a black male, 62 years old. But not many come to me specifically.
Okay. And it's interesting, because I know I'm a person that listens to words, right? And I'm pretty sure some of the listeners were probably thinking about it when you said it. I work with our community. That's where most of the free classes come in. Why is that?
So, because I created that because I wanted to work with my community.
But why working with your community and free? You follow what I'm saying?
Just to get the buzz. I was like, okay, I have to fight more with my own community to find the value in what your health is.
Why?
Because it's not taught. We're not taught to, and that goes back to how we feel about ourselves, that level of love, and also that level of commitment. It's like, are we taught to be able to commit to what this body is, the value of this body? Hey, do you know this is the only thing we got on this earth? It's not, it's real. Like, don't get a body job. Don't do all that. You got one body, one heart, these organs, If you don't care about those, let me start it out from ground level. Let me get you in the door and get you educated.
Okay. So and that's again another thing, ladies and gentlemen, with Black Fitness Matters, our mission is to strengthen our community one rep at a time. So and we want to be able to get in those underserved communities, such as the Northwest quadrant of Jacksonville and the east side of Jacksonville. The places where, and this is a loaded statement, if you Google fitness in Jacksonville, fitness studios, gyms in Jacksonville, the Google map will come up and you have all the orange dots around the beaches area, south side area, Mandarin area. It's starting to thin out as you go across the Buckman Bridge over to the west side area. Then once you get towards that northwest quadrant, it's wide open.
It's wide open.
No orange dots. And then even till you get to all the way up by the airport, you start to have a little bit up there, but still not a lot. So you said
it's gentrification too.
But I gotta push back on that.
No,
because
not in the capacity.
Oh, you're saying gentrification? The only reason that we're seeing more?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I got you. So it's not the us that's there that's getting it. It's the people that are moving in that's saying we want this here, because now the people are noticing that there's money here.
So that's the thing. But once again, it comes to us as a people.
But why in your experience? And again, this is not a this is not a bash session. Our heart is to find and seek out the root cause of, because I had James Coleman on earlier this week, and the root cause of why people are not training, why we're not putting that money into fitness or into our bodies. What's going on? And we talked about schools and them taking out fitness and PE and not putting it. I mean, they can go to gym right now, and as long as they dress out, they'll get a C. So as long as they dress out.
So guess what? That's giving a passive mindset. Let's just say thank you. So to close on that point, in my opinion, I believe that if we as a people could eliminate our illiteracy towards health and actually take forth the effort, if we could cut it on our TV, what's the laziest way we can do it? And that's the mindset we have to extract.
But it's crazy because
that's anything.
That's anything, but it's like, when I go the easiest way, the lowest hanging fruit is YouTube. That's the lowest hanging fruit, because there's free videos on YouTube, but what's going to cause that person to say, I'll go ahead and put in this, because we, like you said, reactionary. The doctor said I got to take these shots. Yes, I got this going. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't talking about hereditary stuff. We're talking about, stuff that you've done,
that you've caused on yourself.
Yeah. And so we've got to be able to not only affect change in the community through fitness. It's just it's a burden. That's why I feel so heavy about it. I feel fitness is fitness. How many times can you lift the object, move the object, and how long you can do it?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If you're walking up and down the stairs at home or at work or whatever, and by the time you get to the first landing, you huffing and puffing, there needs to be a change.
So that's where I say to everyone, you have one day I'm going to, or day one I am.
Okay.
So you have, hey, we always do that. I'm going to do it. 3 years later, I'm still going to do it. Guess what? Just like I talked to my young black men. I'm like, one of them said, hey, I don't want to go to college. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, if you don't want to go to college, or you're going to procrastinate on it, it takes you 8 years to get that degree. How many more? I say, by the time you're 28, I was like, how long did it take you to get that degree? It's still going to take you 8 years,
8 years.
Playboy. So it's either you do it now or you do it later, but it's still going to take that same time.
8 years.
So, and that's where I go into, like, what is a but? We use that word, but, and I say but is an argument for our limitations. And when we argue for our limitations, we get to keep them.
Wow. when you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. So watch this. Here's one limitation I get all the time when I do my fitness assessment for my clients, right, or prospective clients. And I say, okay, I'm going to show you how to do this regular push-up and or modified. But I ain't got no upper body. I can't do. That's your argument for your limitation. And if I don't push back as the trainer or the coach and say you can do it, and we're going to see which one you do. Either you're going to do a regular push-up, a modified push-up, or a wall push-up. I'm going to see what you can do.
There's a possibility.
You're going, and then if you can't do but a wall push-up, we'll work you from the wall to the floor on your knees and then just your hands. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot, if you keep saying and going after these limitations, I can't, or I this, or I that, you're not going to be able to get started.
You have results and reasons. Hence, reasons are not one of them. So you can only, so what I'll say to that is it goes down to the subconscious. The minute you tell yourself you can't, I don't, those negative words, you realize you have to tell yourself 16 times, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can't, mentally. Just to get
to counteract that no.
The counteract, it takes 16 yeses to counteract one no.
Wow.
So imagine how many no's, how many negative things, even going in the house in your 24-hour time frame. I'll share with you becoming a trainer. I didn't have any support. Going to college. Hey, Nemiah, you need to work back at a warehouse. Go back to Crystals. Work at the post office. Like, no, I'm going to follow this dream.
Wow. So now, before we get out of here, what is the importance of fitness in the Black community? Why should specifically speaking to our people, our community, why should they get out and work out? Why should they improve their fitness?
You know, I like this, and this is the best thing to say. The best revenge is looking good. I like to look good. If I'm older and I'm still looking good, that's a win. Hot girl summer, hoochie daddy, I can do it all year. So,
Nemiah, you got some hoochie daddy shorts.
I got some hoochie daddy shorts. I work hard for this body to get some. When they came out, I was like, okay, I'll be green and I'll get one. But that's the thing. It's just that level of self-love, and let that be your win. You say, I want to fit in this dress, or I want to put on this shirt and the stomach go away. Guess what? You got to work to be pretty. You got to work to be pretty. You work at your job, you get that check. Do the same thing with your body. Get that check at the end.
Yeah. So let's talk to. So we talk towards the aesthetic. What are some other benefits and to working out?
So your heart health. Your heart is important. We don't think about it as much, but just to avoid those skip beats. I mean, now I'm 35. I have to get these things checked. Your lungs. You want to. I mean, even for those people who are smokers, you can still walk. If you walk 10 minutes a day, you add 10 days to your life.
10 minutes a day, 10 days to your life. Wow.
That's all I have. So each day that you're exercising, just think of the days you're adding on. You don't want to die in your 40s. You don't want to die you want to live at least to the 80s, pass at least collect the Social Security and pass the door.
10. So that's what I heard.
That's right.
10.
So exercise. So if you're working out 10 minutes a day of just walking, that adds 10 days to your life.
Wow. So what do you think, how can we get to the leaders in our community? How can we get to either, I'm not sure, we talked about it offline, but how can we get to city officials? How can we get to, church leadership in the community, or, whoever our leaders are, about taking that lack of, because we have the YMCA, you know what I'm saying, which I'm not crapping on them. We have the YMCA, we have, I know the different locations. Well, they have now the YMCA over on Cleveland Road, very effective. They do a lot for the community, right? However, when I trained there, it just wasn't a lot. It was a lot of the older population that was there.
Mm-hmm.
And as the day where they were going home, I didn't see a lot of other people coming and making use of that YMCA. You know, a lot of people went down to the Riverside, or they would go somewhere else. But you know, and then they just built one up on 295 and done.
Yeah.
I don't know how often that's being used over there as well. But what would you say? You know, what are the different initiatives that's going on in the city as far as health and fitness and whatnot?
So right now with the city, so what Chris is asking, so I work for the city now. That's another department. So Safety and Crime Reductions Commissioner on the subcommittee, and also Park and Recreations Commissioner and for juvenile delinquents and kids. So what we're doing now is we notice that there is not a lot of activity in those buildings. So now we're wanting to put up more security cameras, create a safer space within the area. So we all know right up there is 5020, right around the corner. So that's probably another reason I would make the assumption that that's why people don't go later on, because the liability is higher.
I got you. I got you.
So but that's what we're trying to do in the city now. That's why I chose to get on there. I was like, well, somebody got to do it. So I'm like, that's where I'm from, because that's my grandmother's gym.
Okay.
So I was like, if I want it safer, I mean, I don't have all the money in the world, so I was like, I can definitely get the power. I can run my mouth real good.
Okay. So. Speaking of running, are we making some waves for future running? You know what I'm saying? How does that look? I'm gonna let y'all wait on that. I ain't gonna put you on the spot. That's what you sound like. You know what I'm saying? But so let the people know in these final moments, man. You know, what would you say to the person that's kind of, you know, trying to make a decision on making fitness a part of their life? And then after that, I would like for you to let people know how they can find you.
Okay. So making fitness a part of your life. So I have some affirmations that I'm going to give you. Make sure when you want fitness to be a part of your lifestyle, make sure that you tell yourself that you have the right to manifest whatever you can do. Let's keep it spiritual. I mean, hey, Matthew 7:7, ask, seek, and find. I want to ask for that body. I want to seek it, and now I can find it. What is it that I have to do? And then just begin. We know that you got jump. And that's our time. So and then at that point, hey, put the junk food down. You know, hey, and replace it for an apple. It's okay. It's good. If you want to put some salt on it, go for it. Change it up. So and then be unstoppable. Tell yourself that you're second to none. You're going to reach your goals, and know that you can do it. Good things are supposed to happen to you.
Wow. That is awesome. That is awesome. So how can people find Nemiah Rutledge and Body Paradox, please?
So you can find me on www.bodyparadox.com. We host free classes at Florida Blue every single day from 5:45 to 6:45 at both locations, North Side, River City Marketplace, and the South Side, St. John's Town Center. Or you can just give me a call, 904-962-1797. My Instagram is Body Paradox. Or you can find me on my personal, Nemiah904.
I'm sorry. I wasn't going to say anything else until you just said you host free workouts on the daily at Florida Blue in 2 locations. Wow. That means there's no excuse.
Eliminated them all.
There is no excuse. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Nemiah Rutledge with Body Paradox. Man, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it, man. This has been an amazing show. Y'all know where to find us. Instagram, Black Fitness Matters _ YouTube, Black Fitness Matters. Facebook, Black Fitness Matters. Don't forget, blackfitnessmatters.net is where you can go and buy your Black Fitness Matters gear. Now, again, that Black Fitness Matters gear does not go in my pocket.
Okay.
We take that portions of those proceeds to buy fitness gear, to be able to do the stuff that we need to do to be prepared to go into these different areas. So I want to be able to give away resistance bands. I want to eliminate the excuses. You know what I'm saying? We're going to teach you how to move your body, and here's a resistance band. You know what I'm saying? So we can actually build a little bit more muscle as well. So, man, we appreciate y'all. Check in again next week, and we out.